do it. Welcome, everyone. I'm Gina, and today we're going to do some breath work, some gentle moving, and some meditation. So find yourself a super comfortable seat that could be on a mat, on the floor, on a bed, on a chair, wherever you feel really supported. And we'll start by just putting ourselves in this space today in our bodies. So feel whether it's your sits bones, your feet, your back, whatever's touching the ground, and really feel how it feels to be held by that surface. And we'll see if we can make ourselves really balanced left to right. And sometimes making ourselves unbalanced helps us find that equilibrium. So you may want to rock back and forth on your hips and see how far you can go to one side and then how far you can come to the other side. And once you've done that a couple times, just find where is that center? Where does it feel like, okay, both the left and the right feel equally balanced? And same with the feet. Sometimes it's tempting to cross the ankles if you're in a chair, or sometimes it's tempting to have your knees touching but your feet out. So see if you can put the feet flat on the ground, like number 11, with the knees over the ankles, the hips in front of the knees. And maybe you do the same thing leaning forwards and back that we did left and right, to find that place where you feel nice and tall and supported. It's pretty typical to be leaning forward, to have our shoulders hunched forward, to have our chin pushed forward. And we'll just invite a lifting of the chest and a rolling back of the shoulders to feel nice and tall, to feel nice and open, and to feel like the head is over the spine, is over the hips, so that our skeletal system can do the bulk of the work and our muscles can be a little more relaxed. And from here, we'll do a few isometric exercises, starting by just pressing the feet into the floor. Maybe you curl the toes a little bit as if you're pulling the toe floor towards your body, and then relax. We'll do that 2 more times, engaging, pressing the feet into the floor, pressing the toes into the floor. Maybe you can feel the core engaging as the legs engage, and then relax. And we'll do that 1 more time on your own, in your own time. Pressing into the floor, curling the toes, maybe engaging all the way up to the abdominals. And then relaxing. And then see how your body feels, see how you feel. And we'll do an isometric exercise with the upper body as well. This time making a fist with one hand and an open palm with the other hand. And we'll press. So for me, this is my right hand. I'm going to press the right into the left, feeling the strength of my hand, lowering the shoulders down, making sure I'm still breathing nicely. Press extra hard and then release, and maybe shake it out, maybe roll the shoulders if that feels good. And we'll come do the same thing on the opposite side. So opposite hand is flat, opposite hand makes a fist, and using that hand pressing into the palm, feeling the shoulder engage, feeling the arm muscles engage, press extra hard, and then let go, release, relax. And again, maybe you roll the shoulders, maybe you roll the neck, whatever feels nice in your body as a little counter stretch, or maybe shake out the hands or roll the wrists if that's what feels good to you right now. And then we'll press the hands into the lap, so onto the quads, and bringing the shoulders through, bringing the collarbones through the shoulders, pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet, and maybe looking up slightly, maybe looking up a little bit more. Being careful not to jump into the neck, but simply looking up, lifting the collarbone, And then we'll turn the opposite direction, tucking the chin into the chest, flipping the pelvis the opposite direction, tucking that tailbone under a little bit, and seeing how it feels to arch the spine. Again, pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands on the lap, tucking the chin towards the chest, and making sure you're breathing here. And we'll do one more round of this extra super duper slow cat cow. So one more cat pose, one more cow pose, looking up, pulling the clavicle through the shoulders, pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands, sitting up nice and tall, looking up towards the ceiling, breathing nice and slowly, nice and gently. And then very, very slowly returning to the cat pose, tucking the chin towards the chest, pressing into the tops of the thighs, pressing into the feet and arching the back. Feeling the stretch down the back of the neck, down the spine. And then very, very slowly returning back to a nice, tall seat. And again, you might roll the shoulders, or you might stretch the arms across the body if that feels good, or any other counter pose that feels good in your body. It is really up to you how you come out of it. And then I've got one more static stretch for us to do today, and that's going to be a twist. So we'll sit up nice and tall again, pressing the feet into the ground, pressing the sits bones into the chair, sitting up with a really tall spine, and then look over the right shoulder, twist from the shoulder, twist the ribs, twisting from the belly, and maybe you might use the opposite arm on the outside of the hip, the outside of the thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale to twist. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, and exhale to twist. If you have a back on your chair, you could even use your right hand to help you twist even a little bit more. But make sure the breathing is still there. If you're twisting so much that it's hard to breathe, just come out of it a little bit. You've gone a little bit too far. And the next breath, we'll really slowly untwist, using the eyes to make sure we're not dizzy, following across the room, back to center, and then over the opposite shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, looking over the shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, dropping the left shoulder back, right shoulder forward, and if you like, using the right hand on the outside of the left thigh to give a little bit extra leverage. Maybe the left hand on the back of the chair, if that feels good. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Inhale to sit up tall, and exhale to twist, twist, twist. And then we'll really slowly come back to a nice neutral spine. And from here, if you like, I'll invite you to close your eyes. And if that's not going to happen for you today for any reason, no problem, just lower your gaze. Maybe you want to put some support behind your lower back if that feels good. And otherwise, I invite you to just observe your breath. What's going on in your body today? Where do you feel the breath? Is it on the upper lip? Is it in the chest? Is it in the ribs? Is it in the belly? There's no right or wrong answer. You don't need to shift it. We're just noticing, where is the breath? And then if you are breathing through your nostrils, see if you can discern which nostril is dominant, which nostril has more air coming in. We switch sides of nostril dominance many times over the course of the day, but we don't usually notice it, mostly because we're just not paying attention, which is fine. We have lots of other things to do. But right now, this is the thing we're doing. So see if you can feel the air. Is it coming in more on the left side or is it coming more on the right side? And then I'll invite you to slow the breath down. So taking your time, we don't need to take big breaths or deep breaths. We're just taking really slow breaths. So a tiny stream of air in and a tiny stream of air out. We want it to be as slow as possible without causing any type of stress in the body. So sometimes we can breathe really, really slowly, but then we're gasping for the next breath because our body feels starved of oxygen, or you feel really ready for the next breath. So only make the breath as slow as feels easy. Make it easy in your body. Make it calm in your body. So inhaling nice and slowly, lightly, very light breathing, like a sleeping baby. And then exhale really lightly, really gently, a long, extended, slow breath. And as you're breathing as lightly, as slowly as possible, this is a good time to set an intention, if you like, for your practice. It's good to set our intentions as present tense sentences of things as if they've already happened so that we can live up to these intentions. So if you're practicing patience, maybe your intention is, I am patient with myself and those around me. If you're practicing self-compassion, maybe your intention is, I am a self-compassionate human. I make mistakes and I forgive myself. Whatever your intention is, make it present tense. Send it out into the universe. Let the universe help conspire to make it so. And then at the end of your next exhale, take your time, there's no rush. We're going to put in a breath retention. So exhaling, so all of the air is out of your lungs, and then holding the breath just until you feel the big urge to breathe in. So it could be 4, 5, 6 seconds, not too long. And then again, breathing in really slowly, exhaling really slowly, these light, easy breaths, and holding the breath when you're empty at the bottom of the exhale, just until you feel the need to breathe in again. So it's not a race and it's not a contest. Listen to your body. We're trying to make it easy. We're trying to make it so that your next inhale isn't a gasp, but that you can be a nice, slow, easy, gentle inhale like a sleepy baby. Exhale slowly, and then hold the breath out for a few seconds at the bottom. And we'll carry on like this for a few more rounds. Finish this next round of breath. There's absolutely no rush. You've got time. Inhaling very slowly. Exhaling a long, light, slow exhale. Holding the breath at the bottom. And then allowing the breath to return to whatever feels normal in your body. And seeing, where do you notice the breath? Is it different from when you first sat down? Do you feel it on the lip? Do you feel it in the chest, in the ribs, in the belly? And then come back to those nostrils and observe which nostril feels like it's dominant now. Is it the same nostril as before when we were looking at which side seemed to bring in more air, or has it flip-flopped? Is it the other nostril now? And trace that air from the nostril into the sinuses, down the throat into the lungs. And as you exhale, trace that air up the throat, out the nose. Maybe you choose a color. Maybe something, the first color that comes to your mind is perfect. And as you inhale, imagine your heart swelling with this color. And as you exhale, visualize this color going out to all of the people you care about, sharing with them some of the calmness, some of the heart space, some of the patience or the happiness or whatever your intention was for this practice. Inhaling gently in through the nose, letting that heart swell. And exhaling, sharing those positive emotions with the people who are important to you. Make the breathing light. Doesn't have to be big breaths or deep breaths. And let the color intensify, filling your heart, maybe surrounding your whole body, getting bigger and bigger, creating a really protective space for you today to do your practice, free from distraction. If you like, you can change to an exhale out the mouth like you're blowing through a straw. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling very lightly, very gently through pursed lips. And when you're all out, again, lightly, gently inhaling through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. This can sometimes help elongate the exhales, and when our exhale is longer than our inhale, it signals to the vagus nerve that we should be in rest and digest, that we are safe, that we can turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs our digestive system, our cellular repair. This is our relaxation response, as opposed to the fight or flight response when we are ready to attack. But right now we don't need to be in heightened alert. We are focusing on going within, inhaling lightly and gently through the nose, and exhaling through pursed lips through the mouth. Maybe you invite the diaphragm to get involved, inhaling, letting the belly swell. And exhaling through pursed lips, letting the diaphragm help push all of the air out of the lungs. Sucking the belly in as you get less and less and less. And then gently inhaling the next breath. At the end of your next breath, take your time. We'll allow the breathing to return to normal, whatever pattern feels natural in your body. As we move into a body scan, and as we lightly put our attention on each part of the body as it's mentioned, think about sending your breath into that body part and see what it does. If you can melt any tension, if you can let it relax even a little bit more as you send your breath all around the body, starting with the center of your forehead, relaxing any wrinkles or furrows in your brow. And then to your temples and the eye sockets, letting the eyes relax into their sockets, breathing into all the muscles around your eyes. Breathe into your jaw. Let it relax. Maybe separate the teeth a little bit. Breathing into your neck and into both shoulders, left and right. Breathing down your arms to your elbows, to your wrists, and into all of your fingers. Breathing into your heart space and into your back ribs. Relaxing the muscles of the back from the nape of the neck all the way down to your tailbone. And breathing into your belly, let it relax. And then into your hips on the left and the right. Let your bones hold you. Let the tension melt away. Breathing down the right leg to the knee. And then from the knee to the ankle. And finally breathing into the right foot, the heel, the arch of the foot, the top of the foot, and all of your toes on the right side. Inhaling the breath back up to the hips and moving over to the left side, breathing into your left thigh down to the knee, and from the left knee down to the ankle, and from the left ankle into the foot, the heel of the foot, the arch of the foot, the top of the foot, and all of the toes on the left side. Bringing to mind that color that you breathed into the heart space. Inhaling, let the color travel from the toes up to the crown of your head. And exhaling, let that color travel from the crown of your head down to the tips of the toes, letting your breath touch every single body part. Let it remind you that you're safe, that you're right where you need to be, that whatever you're feeling is what you're supposed to be feeling, that you're doing it right. You've already done the hardest part, which is showing up. You can bring that intention back to mind if you set one. And think of one very, very tiny action you could take to be on your way to embodying that intention, that emotion, that aspiration that you have. And then when you're ready, you can very gently bring some movement into the hands, into the feet, into the wrists and into the ankles, into the joints. Give yourself a stretch. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.